and I looked at my butt and I thought, oh my God, my butt's gone. Like my butt is flat now. Chronometer is telling me I'm 600 calories over. Okay, can you hear me? This looks so funny. Oh my God, look at my deodorant. Oh no. Oopsies. Recently I posted a what I eat in a day video, and if you guys kind of know me from Instagram or see what I'm doing over there, and you already kind of have a bit of an idea where I'm at with my diet, how I'm changing my diet to influence my body composition and my physique. I'm on a reverse diet right now, so I'm tracking everything in Chronometer, and I thought, wouldn't it be a super killer idea to do a full-on nutrient review of nutrients I'm actually getting in my diet. And before we even get into this, I'm gonna give you all a little trigger warning. I am body focused. It's 7 in the morning and I've done my eyebrows, my mascara, and my eyeshadow literally for this video, and that's okay. If you want your body to look a certain way, you're totally allowed to change your behaviors to change your body. And I use the science that I understand about metabolism and exercise to help me shape my body into the way I want it to be. So there's two factors that go into me deciding what I'm gonna eat. There's how I choose my macros, and then there's just how I choose the actual foods that I'm gonna eat. When I'm choosing my macros and I'm looking at my calories, that's when I'm really controlling what my body is gonna look like. So right now I'm in a reverse diet bulking phase. I'm manipulating my macros to have more carbohydrates and overall more calories so I can fuel muscle growth, build and increase my strength in the gym. And I think I said this on Instagram, but my main goal with this mini reverse diet is to grow my butt because I felt like I lost it on my cut when I was heading to Mexico. So that's one side of the equation. I set my macros and my calories based on, do I want to grow muscle or do I want to lean out? So the next part of all this is me actually deciding what foods I'm gonna eat. Eggs or sardines or avocado or blueberries or beets, whatever. When I'm deciding the actual food that I'm gonna eat, how I base that decision is what's gonna make me feel most fresh, what's gonna give me the best energy, and like what am I really craving right now. Here's one example. It's a little funny, but I'll share it with you guys anyways. If I'm a little constipated, then I will lay off the raw vegetables. Like raw vegetables are out of the question. And I'll have a lot more steamed vegetables, boiled carrots, boiled beets, steamed broccoli, and I need something easier to digest, but also nutrient dense and higher in fiber. That's kind of a little overview of how I make my food decisions. Let's just do a brief little recap of where I'm at right now in my diet. In March and April, I brought my calories down from my maintenance of 2,200 down to 2,000, and then I did another cut again right before going on vacation to 1,800. And my only goal with that was to lose fat so I could get bikini ready. Only problem was that because I was eating less calories and losing weight, I also lost my butt. I remember being in Mexico, I literally like put on my bikini and I went to check myself out in the mirror and I turned sideways and I looked at my butt and I thought, oh my God, my butt's gone. Like my butt is flat now. And that was like the main reason that I was like, as soon as I get home, I'm doing a mini bulk, I'm doing a reverse diet because I need to build my booty back up again. Second reason for going into this reverse diet mini bulk is because I do not want my metabolism to slow down and adapt to only burning 1,800 calories per day. 1,800 calories simply is not enough energy for my activity levels or to even support healthy hormones. Here's a little overview of what metabolic adaptation really is. If your body is set to burning 2,000 calories per day and you give it 2,000 calories every day, your body probably isn't going to change very much at all. If all of a sudden you restrict your food, you remove some calories, and you're giving your body 1,500 calories per day, now your body has to get energy from its inside source. Your body's going to start burning fat to fuel its fire. Eventually though, your fire is going to shrink, your metabolism is going to slow down and adapt to the new amount of energy you're giving it. And now that your metabolism's adapted, the 1,500 calories you're getting from your diet isn't producing any changes. Your metabolism's adapted. You're no longer in a calorie deficit and you can keep eating 1,500 calories and you're not going to see any change in body composition. The problem with dieting isn't that calorie deficits don't work. They do. The problem is your metabolism adapts and the calorie deficit loses its effect. And the biggest problem of all, no one wants their maintenance calories to be 1,500. It's not healthy, it's not fun, it'll ruin your hormone health, it's super restrictive, and nobody wants to be stuck at 1,500 calories. So on my cut, I went from 2,200 calories to 1,800 calories. I removed 400 calories from my diet, which is quite a bit of food. And I know with my metabolic health and my activity levels, 2,200 calories per day is enough for me to maintain my physique. So why would I stay at 1,800 calories when I know I can get back up to 2,200 calories? So that's why I did the reverse, and then I put myself into an extra surplus, bringing myself up to 2,400, 2,600 calories so I could get in a bulk and really start to grow my booty back again. Now at this point, I'm going to be analyzing my nutrient intake from the what I eat in the day video. Because I'm currently exerting control over my macros and my calories, I'm tracking everything in chronometer so I can get a breakdown of what I'm actually eating, how much protein, how much carbs, and how much omega-3 fatty acids. One critique I got from quite a few of you guys over on Instagram was that I wasn't eating enough or I wasn't eating very much at all. And in the what I eat in a day, it wasn't a lot of food. I don't eat huge portions. I like to eat small portions. It's better on my digestion. It's what makes me feel good and it's what makes me feel fresh. I don't want to feel gross and full and heavy after a meal. It doesn't make me feel good and it doesn't make me feel energized. And of course, because I am on this mini bulk and that means I need to be eating more calories, instead of eating these huge portions of French fries and burgers and pizza and ice cream, all I did instead was I looked at my calories at the end of the day. I said, am I at my minimum calorie goal of 2,400? And if I'm not, that's when I add something calorie dense, but also a whole food. That's what I ended up doing on this day because my calories didn't hit my goal. And I added, I don't know, like 200 or 300 calories of dark chocolate. And that got me to 2,382 calories, which is still just under my goal of which was still just under my goal of 2,400 calories, but it got me pretty close to where I wanted to be. First thing we're gonna look at is the little warnings chronometer gave me for things that I was way over in. I got 173 grams of protein, which is quite a bit over what I actually need. I weigh about 112 pounds, which means that I should be getting 100 to 112 pounds of protein per day. I am over by I don't know how much that is, 60 grams of protein, which is quite a bit to be over because I am a small female lady. I'm not too concerned because I don't do this every day. I'm quite active, and again, my goal right now is to put on lean muscle mass. The second warning sign I have is for fat. So I got 128 grams of fat, and the target that chronometer sets out for me is 94 grams of fat. You guys already know this, but I am totally into my healthy fats. And I love my Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, olive oil, eggs, and fatty wild-caught sockeye salmon. But I also really believe in balance, and especially balancing your fats. So to give you an example of what I mean by that is, yes, eggs are absolutely healthy and nutrient dense and have a lot of healthy fats. And olive oil is also nutrient dense with its polyphenols, antioxidants, and healthy fats. But that doesn't mean bathing your eggs in olive oil is healthy, because simply it's too much fat. And too much fat, even from healthy whole food sources, is simply too much and not really a good idea. So what I do to balance my fats is, if I really want a lot of olive oil, then instead of full eggs, I'll just do the egg whites and then I'll cover that in olive oil. Or if I'm having red meat like steak or lamb, then I'll just choose a leaner cut of meat, because you don't want too much saturated fat in your diet. And in terms of saturated fat, we do have a little bit of a problem on this day, because I ended up getting 51 grams of saturated fat. For a 2,000 calorie per day diet, you shouldn't really be getting more than 13 grams of saturated fat per day. So for me, eating 2,400 calories, that means I wouldn't really want anything over 17 grams of saturated fat per day. And I got 50 grams of saturated fat, which I'm not saying that's healthy at all. I think it's not going to be detrimental to my health because my diet is very clean, but that is not something I want to keep hitting. This is the part I'm super proud of, is my omega-3 to 6 ratio. Your omega-3s and omega-6s are your polyunsaturated fatty acids, and these two fats are the only two essential fats. Literally what that means is your body cannot make omega-3 or omega-6 on its own, but you absolutely need to get omega-3s and 6s for a properly functioning immune system, for hormone health, brain health, heart health, and longevity. This is really where I think omega-6s get a bad reputation. Omega-6s are part of the pro-inflammatory response of the immune system. If you get a cut on your body, a bacteria or a virus, the first thing your immune system does is it launches the inflammatory response. Omega-6s are needed to help with that inflammatory response so your immune system can actually work. Problem is, in the standard American diet, where there's so many seed oils, corn oils, fried foods, our diets just have way too much omega-6s, and this puts us in a state of chronic inflammation, and that's what you don't want. You don't want inflammation high, and you don't want unnecessary inflammation. You want your body to be able to control inflammation, so it's only launching that inflammatory response when it needs to, when there's a cut or virus or a pathogen. So we need omega-6s, and everybody of course knows we also need omega-3s, and ideally you're getting your omega-3s and 6s in a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-4 ratio. While omega-6s are pro-inflammatory, omega-3s tend to be more anti-inflammatory, and omega-3s are phenomenal for brain health, heart health, hormone health, and reproduction. Omega-3s come in 2 flavors, three flavors, EPA, DHA, and ALA. ALA is most associated with better heart health and reducing inflammation. EPA and DHA are what you really need for reproduction and are critical for your brain health. EPA and DHA only come from animal sources, and ALA comes best from plant-based sources like olive oil, avocados, or flax seeds and walnuts. My omega-3 to 6 ratio is 1.7. So for every 1 gram of omega-3 I get 1 gram of omega-6s. So having a healthy diet allows me to nail that omega-3 to 6 ratio. And if you're working on bringing your omega-6s down, some foods to consider removing or limiting are literally going to be everything processed. Crackers, chips, processed cheese, ice cream, literally anything deep fried. You're going to want to remove those from your diet because these are high in saturated fats and omega-6s, and anything cooked in seed oil as well, you're going to want to remove that. To increase your intake of those healthy omega-3 fats that so many of us don't get enough of, you're going to want to eat more wild caught fatty fish, things like sardines, omega-3 enriched eggs, and then you're going to want to consider adding flax seeds and flax oil. So in the vitamin and mineral breakdown, you see the only mineral I was deficient in was magnesium, which is pretty interesting because I eat a really nutrient-dense diet and I still wasn't getting enough magnesium, and we know that magnesium is one of the leading nutrient deficiencies. I do take a magnesium supplement, by the way. I take it every night, and if I don't take my magnesium, I literally will get constipated in like 2 days. Anyways, it also said I'm deficient in sodium, but I add a lot of salt to my food, so I'm not worried about that. And then in terms of vitamin, I'm low in thiamine, which kind of makes sense because thiamine comes in things like wheat, grain, buckwheat, or corn, and also grain products like flour, pasta, and bread. It's mandatory that these are fortified with a few of the B vitamins, including thiamine. It also says I'm not getting enough vitamin D, which I'm not worried about because it's summer, I'm in the sun, and I have a tan. And I also take a vitamin D supplement in the winter. There's not really many foods like at all that have a lot of vitamin D. Your best food sources of vitamin D are going to be cold water fatty fish, fish eggs, and chicken eggs. Vitamin E, it also says I'm low in. Honestly, I'm not even sure really where vitamin E is coming from. I think walnuts are probably a good source. Vitamin C, I was low in. I only hit 93% vitamin C, and I could have easily brought that up by literally having one singular orange or like a bunch more blueberries. And then for all my B vitamins, I've got like the little green tick on all the B vitamins. I am blowing it out of the park, and that makes a lot of sense because I had eggs, sardines, and steak that day, and all these animal-based foods are really rich, potent sources of your B vitamins. Chronometer is telling me I'm 645 calories over, and that's just because I have my weight set in there, and I never told Chronometer, hey buddy, I'm on a mini bulk right now, let's ramp these calories up. So they're telling me I should be eating like 1,700 calories per day, which isn't even as much as I was eating on my cut to lean out. So I definitely did a little macro override there to bump my calories way up. Lastly, let's just take a quick peek at carbs. Total carbs came into 103 grams, which is pretty low. I'm not a very big carb eater at all because I already told you I base my food decisions based on what makes me feel fresh and energized. And honestly, a big bowl of rice, a bunch of potatoes or grains or whatever just doesn't light me up. It's not what makes me feel most energized, and it's not what makes me feel freshest. And I did get 38.6 grams of fiber, which is so totally awesome for your gut health and digestion. Only thing you want to be careful is if you're getting too much fiber, that can cause constipation, or if your body's used to a low fiber diet and all of a sudden you ramp your fiber like way up through the roof, your gut microbiome, like literally the bacteria in your gut, might not be accustomed to dealing with so much fiber. So that can really overwhelm your gut bacteria and lead to issues like gut dysbiosis, bloating, and honestly just a lot of discomfort and constipation. This video took like 11 years to produce, so I'm really sorry. I hope you get some value out of it. By the way, lying on your back on the floor like this, oh no, oopsies. It like helps me realign my shoulder blades and my back. Or if you feel like you've been slouching all day, lie on your back on the floor just like this. If you like my content, you can find me on Instagram at Nutrition by Elsa, or you can check out my website, nutritionbyelsa.com. I have 2 little freebies on there. They're kind of old, and honestly, they're not the best thing ever, but they're freebies and they're free resources, and they're there for you if you would like them. And then, of course, you can check out my book, The Glow Formula, at my website, nutritionbyelsa.com. And I'll see you all in the near future.